Hey guys, there's a lot that's happened since my last vlog. I know I'm lazy, but I am procrastinating studying for midterms, so I thought I would do a little recap of some of the travels that I've been on recently. 2 weeks ago, so October 10th, I guess, the entire California group went to Romania, went to Transylvania, which was pretty much the coolest thing I've ever seen. Some of you may know that's where my dad was born, and while this wasn't like anywhere close to the area where my dad was born, I still felt like oddly connected to it. And so it was a sort of strange and surprisingly overwhelming experience to be there. But we woke up really early Friday morning and we took a 8-hour bus ride to Romania, which was fun, I guess. And we stopped in this flea market that was huge, like happens once a year. And it's just like I don't think I could have ever pictured how Romania would look. And it's really just like lush and green. It's fall, so the leaves are all changing. And I've never really seen a fall like that because I'm from California. So I was like completely enamored with the yellows and the reds of the leaves, which is dorky, but whatever. And so yeah, there's this huge. I've never seen so many shoes in my life. There was this huge flea market with all these shoes. I don't know. So that was cool, and we like did some shopping there. And then we all stayed with host families in this little village. So I stayed with Claire and Topher and Jen and Kate and Hannah. And our host mother didn't speak a word of English, so thank God we had Topher because he's much better at Hungarian than any of us are. So we like tried to communicate, but it just made me feel really shitty about how much Hungarian I don't know. But yeah, so she cooked us dinner every night, like 3-course meals. And so there's always really good soup. And Sunday night we had matzo ball soup, and I almost cried. And like really good meat and potatoes, mashed potatoes, and pickled everything, and palenka, which I don't know if I've talked about it, but it's like the Hungarian. It's fruit brandy, and a lot of people make it themselves, which I guess is illegal. But we had homemade palenka, and our host mom also made had homemade apple wine. So every night we had a pitcher of wine that she had made. So that was really cool. And we just ate so much. Like I've never eaten so much in my life as I ate in Transylvania. And so then the next morning we woke up early and we went and we just saw like all these little villages that this is people's real life. I don't really know why we were. It's not touristy. Like we weren't going to see anything specific. Just kind of like get a taste of what these little Hungarian, Romanian towns were like. And there's this whole idea of dual identity because of how the Hungarian borders used to be. This like used to be Hungary, so they all speak Hungarian, but they're Romanian, and it's like confusing. Double identities, But yeah, so we went into a lot of these little villages, and there's like horse-drawn carts, and I don't know, it's so quaint and fabulous. And again, like they fed us this huge meal, and it was ridiculous. And so the restaurant we went to at lunch where they fed us, when they brought out the food, this really, I'll have to get a clip of this for you. This music started playing, and all of the servers came out with their food and presented it to us, and it was very strange. And then after lunch, we hiked up to the ruins of this castle, which was miserable is the wrong word, but our tour guide just thought it would be better to take this shortcut where we were basically scaling the walls of this rock formation, and it was really steep and dangerous, and I had a blister on my foot, and it was kind of miserable. But once we got to the top, it was gorgeous, so I'll put a picture soon, but it was totally beautiful view of this whole town, and we were just like running around these ruins. And then after that, we went back home and we got fed again, and we didn't really go out at night because we were just in this tiny town, but it was cool to just drink palenka and talk and hang out with people. It was really fun. I had a really good time with the people I stayed with. So then Sunday, we went and we did a couple more villages, and a lot more food. I know there's a theme here, huh? And we saw like a bunch of really old churches, and it was cool because there's sort of like these run-down churches from the 14th century, maybe. I think most of them were built. And, the Protestants came in and, like, painted over all the arts. They're not very decorated. And they aren't really, like, cathedrals that you really want to see. But they're, where people go to church still. And these are, like, the little churches that they have in their town. I don't know. It's cool. We found walnuts. We were, like, shaking walnuts off the trees and cracking them and eating them. So that was awesome. And then we had this huge meal in one of the towns. They fed us like stuffed cabbage and ridiculous desserts, and like there were 8 different flavors of palenka on the table, and they had a little puppy. I think some of you guys have seen pictures of me on Facebook with this dog that I fell so in love with this dog. It was ridiculous. And then Jenny and Dylan got to be dressed up in traditional Romanian wedding garb. The Dylan kept trying to tell us it was just confirmation wear, not wedding wear, but it was how they get dressed up for weddings and things. And it's ridiculous how many layers of skirts these girls wear. Like, Jenny's tiny and she had these hips. It was funny. There's pictures of that too. So yeah, then we were completely stuffed, and they took us to Cluj, which is more of a city, and we just got to walk around, and that was nice because I went off by myself and I finally had some time alone, just like put on my headphones and be. So I listened to a lot of Ravenettes, was kind of my soundtrack for that particular day. Then I saw some cool churches, and there was this, across from the opera house, they have this fountain that does this like water show and plays music. And when we first got there, was playing Vivaldi, and my heart got all tense because it just, being in Romania reminded me of my dad. So that was cool. And then it played everything from Vivaldi to like pieces from Carmen, and then it played the Imperial March from Star Wars. I don't know. It was really strange. I have some video footage of that, but it didn't turn out very well. So you guys will see that too. Yeah, and then we went back home and we had like a final meal. And Monday morning we woke up and we did like a little hike around the town where we had actually stayed. And there were all these like fruit trees that they weren't really on anyone's property. So we picked plums and apples, and it was so delicious. It was just, and pears too, and they were really good. So yeah, it was, I don't want to say it was like a journey back in time, because it wasn't really. Like, it felt like this is real life in 2008, but definitely like weirdly like stone, not cobblestones, but they like, some of the streets were paved with these like really sharp, it seemed sort of inefficient stones and things like that. So and like not very populated, but weirdly everyone had satellite TV. That was a strange thing too. So it was just like a strange mix of like not really modernized technology, but existing in 2008. And the town we stayed in, they're building a freeway, so you could see like the beginnings of this freeway, and I don't know what that's going to be like. But yeah, so I went to Transylvania and I did not see Dracula's castle. I might go back. I don't know if that's like touristy and weird of me, but that's yeah. So that was Romania, and knowing how YouTube is, I'm going to end this particular vlog now about Romania and do a second vlog to tell you guys about the second trip that I took to Bratislava this week, and sort of, I guess, some more about my life. So yeah, Romania was incredible, and it was cool because I think it's also going to be the last time that all 36 of us from the group are going to be anywhere together. And yeah, we had some really nice dinner table conversations. The bus driver ate with us very nice. So Janos, the bus driver, we had some excellent moments with him telling us about what it means to be a total férfi, which is Hungarian for man. So it was a little sexist, a little racist, I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's like other random thoughts about Romania. I don't know, it's hard to describe how it made me feel, and just how quaint, it's becoming such an overused word for me. But it was all very quaint and bucolic and welcoming and small and warm and wonderful. So yeah, Romania, I could live there probably. Cluj was fantastic. I could definitely go back. And yeah, so stay tuned for my next vlog, which will be more about other things I've been up to in my life and where I went this weekend. So yeah,